This is Buga. He just won the Fortnite World Cup, defeating some of the best Fortnite players in the world through a weekend-long event in Los Angeles. He just won $3 million. 20th place took home over $100,000. This is Shuton. He just won the Smash Bros. Ultimate Tournament at EVO Japan 2020, the largest Smash Bros. Tournament in Japan's history. He beat some of the best Smash Bros. Players and conquered a bracket of over 1,000 competitors. His prize? A Nintendo Switch controller, a goodie bag, and $0. Worse yet, after accepting his prize, this happened.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
The truth is that there is very little money in competitive Smash Bros. You could cover all your expenses to go to a tournament, beat thousands of competitors, win the entire tournament, and still leave empty-handed. I'm El Scorchy, and today we're gonna talk about why Nintendo doesn't make significant investments into competitive Smash Bros. In Japan, a special license is needed to pay out cash prizes in esports. The Japan Esports Union, or JESU for short, is responsible for issuing these licenses. So far, only a few titles have been granted these licenses and are allowed to pay out cash prizes in esports competitions. As you'd expected, Smash Bros. Is not on that list. So you might see this and think, well, that's why Nintendo doesn't have a JESU license, they can't pay out cash prizes, case closed. But this is actually almost intentional. You see, the Japanese Esports Union was founded pretty recently, in 2018. Companies such as Capcom, Sony, Bandai Namco, Tencent, Konami, Arc Systems, Sega, and others act as a board of advisors for the union and apply for licenses for their games. Capcom has in fact been reported to be one of the loudest members of the board, making a commitment to enter the esports market in Japan. Surprisingly enough though, Nintendo is not a member of the board. A board where even Microsoft Japan is a member. If Nintendo was interested in making any kind of investment into esports, they would at least be a member of the board and apply for licenses. So it's not like Nintendo is being rejected by the Japanese Esports Union. They're not even knocking at their door. And that seems to be the case on our side of the globe too.
So it's a fact that Red Bull and ESL tried making big time events with Smash Melee, and Nintendo stopped it. Like Nintendo actually just didn't let it happen. They actively stopped other people from supporting it.
While Nintendo will sponsor some grassroots Smash tournaments, they will actually disengage and stop responding when it comes to working on a bigger esports Smash initiative. Take it from Ninja himself. They were trying to work together on a Smash event and things just fizzled out since Nintendo took so long to get things rolling. The message is clear. Nintendo is not interested in investing on Smash Esports. But why? Competitive Smash Bros. Gets huge viewership numbers with very little marketing and way smaller production budgets when compared to other esports. For example, at Genesis 7, a yearly Smash Bros. Tournament featuring Melee and Ultimate, viewership during the finals Sunday peaked at 94,000 viewers, not too far from the 150,000 people that watched the launch of the heavily publicized Call of Duty League, where teams had to pay millions and millions of dollars just for a franchise spot to play. With proper financial support and marketing, the competitive Smash Bros. Scene could explode and potentially become one of the biggest esports in the world. And then this would make Nintendo bajillions of dollars. Right? Right? Well, now we have to talk about how esports leagues make money for game developers. Contrary to what you might think, the current goal of many esports leagues is not to sell copies of the game. From a business perspective, the goal of esports is to increase the engagement of the existing player base, not to increase the size of the player base itself. The goal here is to keep people playing more, talking more about the game, and yes, spending more into the game. That's why the games with some of the largest esports scenes in the world also have a ton of microtransactions in their games. Developers have realized that esports are actually not great at selling games, but they are great at getting people who are somewhat into the game into really into the game. and as a result, they end up spending more money into the game in the long run. Now, how does this all relate to Smash? Doesn't Smash have a bunch of DLC that they can sell to their player base? Well, yeah, but let's take this example. When Nintendo wants to develop a new DLC character for Smash Ultimate, they need to design the character, come up with a fighter concept, create new animations, sound effects, do voice acting, program and balance the fighter, do debugging, create new song remixes, design an entirely new stage, and then put together a whole trailer and presentation to reveal the character. This is without counting any licensing fees that might be required from third-party characters. Final price tag? $5.99. On the other hand, a Fortnite skin which only requires a few of the steps that we just mentioned will go for... oh boy. And listen, I'm not trying to defend the pricing of Fortnite skins, I actually think they're way too expensive. But this shines a light into a very, very important fact. Nintendo sucks at monetizing Smash. Think about it, how is Nintendo monetizing Smash? We get 2 DLC character bundles that get a lot of press coverage already, and some skins that only 3 characters in the entire 70 character roster can use. These skins also go for a few cents a pop. I've personally never spent real money into these skins, I just get them for free with my gold coins from the eShop. How else can Smash Bros monetize their highly engaged esports fans? Maybe they'll buy a GameCube controller or an amiibo, but physical goods are expensive to make and distribute, and the profit margin is slimmer than on digital goods. In the meantime, Fortnite releases new skins almost weekly and can share a portion of each sale with content creators when players use creator codes, basically creating an incentive for all creators to promote new skins on the shop. What if Smash offered skins for, you know, the other 70 characters in the game? Maybe sell a skin pack for the original 12 that look like the Smash 64 models, with Smash 64 sound effects and all. Sell it for $20 and trust me, people will buy it. Or just make a Christmas hat skin for every character in the game and sell them during the holidays. People will buy this. Best of all is that this does not affect the gameplay for anyone who doesn't buy the skins, so if you don't want them, you just don't buy them. And the worst part is that Nintendo is actually no stranger to putting a Christmas outfit on a character and selling it to you as a brand new one. Who knew slightly modified PNGs could make so much money? And that's truly the worst part of it all, cause yes, Nintendo sucks at monetizing Smash, but Nintendo's actually great at monetization. Not only is Fire Emblem Heroes a great example of Nintendo doing monetization right, but you don't even have to look too far to see Nintendo doing an amazing job at monetizing one of their franchises. Such a good job, in fact, that they have realized that keeping that franchise player base engaged with competitive play is totally worth the money. And that franchise is Pokemon. Pokemon's competitive scene, better known as Pokemon VGC, is a worldwide competitive circuit with regionals, nationals, and world competitions, all managed and streamed by Nintendo, with cash prizes, professional judges, staff, production, and more, all paid for Nintendo itself. Look at those Nintendo payouts, baby! Why is this the case? Well, because if you bought Pokemon Sword and Shield and get really into the VGC, you will be interacting with the Pokemon IP much more often, and therefore, you will be more likely to buy the Pokemon Sword and Shield paid DLC. Or maybe you'll get into any of the other Pokemon games on Switch. Or maybe you'll get into the trading card game, which also has its own competitive scene. Or maybe you'll download one of their many mobile games. Or you might get a yearly membership to Pokemon Bank. Or you might get into the anime or the anime movies, or get tickets to their Hollywood movies, or get into the manga, or you might buy any of their many pieces of merch. Or you might become such a big fan that you get a Pokemon tattoo and then fly out to Tokyo to spend $200 at the official Pokemon store. Couldn't be me though. The point is that Pokemon is great at monetization, and the more things on this list that you get into, the more likely you are to get into the other and give up more of your money to Pokemon. As a result, it totally makes sense to put money towards competitive Pokemon, since anything that increases engagement in the Pokemon player base is something that can introduce them to a new monetization opportunity. Pokemon's monetization structure is so good that Nintendo literally created a company whose only goal is to monetize the crap out of that franchise. Imagine a Smash movie or anime, Smash merchandise, other games in the Smash universe, a Smash manga, a trading card game. If you think about it, most of the Smash Bros. Merchandise out there is not even made by Nintendo, it's made by the community of fans. And you might say, but Nintendo would have to go through so many legal loopholes to get all of these things done. And while that's true, Nintendo could also do them just with the characters that they own and still make a bajillion dollars. And even then, I'm sure some of their third-party developers will be happy to let them use some of their characters, if only for the free advertisement. Who needs the MCU where you could have the Smash Cinematic Universe? But the truth is that that monetization structure does not exist yet, and it's not even close to existing. And that's why I understand why Nintendo is not really interested in investing money in competitive Smash Bros. The monetization structure is just not there. There might never be a return to that investment. But wait, you might say, Smash Bros is great at monetizing their users because it introduces them to so many new franchises on Switch, therefore they spend so much more money on Nintendo stuff. And while you could argue that, it's really hard to connect those dots and it's not always guaranteed. For example, look at Fire Emblem Awakening, a game that was supposed to be the last one in the franchise due to declining sales of the Fire Emblem series, a series that had over 10 years of Smash representation at that point. But why isn't Nintendo building a monetization structure for Smash? Is Nintendo not confident enough on the franchise, even though it sells millions and millions and millions of games every year? Is it not in line with the company's vision for Smash? Or Sakurai's vision for Smash? We might never know the answers to this question, but one thing is true. Nintendo is missing out on a huge opportunity, and they've literally had decades to get started on it. And until that monetization structure isn't built to a certain degree, it makes zero sense for Nintendo to invest in Smash Esports. The truth is that it's not worth it for Nintendo to spend money in growing the influence of the Smash esports scene when they can't use that influence to make more money. But not all hope is lost. After all, there is a lot of value in Smash esports. In an upcoming video, I will talk about a potential solution that does not involve any investments from Nintendo. But for now though, I want to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe. I usually do live streams and gameplay videos on this channel, and every so often I put together some of these high effort scripted videos for you guys. Also, I am currently giving away 3 codes for the Fighter Pass number 2 over at my Twitter, so make sure to check the link in the description to enter the giveaway if you haven't bought it yet. Right, that's it for me today, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.